Good morning, everyone. Hello, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to see the topic called simulation certification. It's my GST quality assessment topic for the subject modeling and simulation of aerospace vehicles. Okay, let's get into the topic.
Okay, guys, what are you seeing now? This is a model of stimulator machine which are used to train the aircraft pilots and crew members to get a sufficient knowledge about how the practical scenario, how in which the practical scenario this pilot crew members are trying to control the flight, which is what it is shown here. And the topic simulator certification is what we are going to see now. This is a topic in Unit 6, and myself, Muthuraman, and this is a quality assessment topic. Okay, what are the agenda of the today's topic is? We are going to see about simulator certifications. What is that? What is the simulator certifications? Main purpose of what is it? And who gives simulator certifications? Whom gets the certificate? Why do we need that certificate? And where can we get that certificate? How to get that certificate? All things we are going to see by seeing these agendas. Okay, the agenda is to see about the effectiveness of simulation, manufacturer's role, customer's role, legislator's role, trainer's role, and evaluation procedures in which the training will be given to those people, and a small case study regarding this subject and regarding this topic, and a summary of all the things. Okay, what is this? As you can see from the picture and the topic which I have taken, you can come to a conclusion that this is a stimulating mission. Okay, this stimulating mission, which is shown here, is a mission which is authorized to AFG, AFG for Avengers Flight Group, and this Avengers Flight Group has some certain missions to train the aircraft crew members on certain type of airplanes, and all the aircraft crew members are trained for three main simulation trainings. Okay, those trainings are called as full flight stimulator training, flight training device trainings, and aviation training. These trainings are given based on the rules given by the FAA. FAA stands for Federal Aviation Administration, and these certifications you can see here. This Avengers Flight Group is giving training for Airbus 320 and 330, and the training which it gives is full flight simulator training. Okay, there are three types of training I have told, and this is full flight simulator training. It is all about full flight stimulation, all about the operations that are done in the cockpit of any aircrafts, and the aircraft cockpit will be designed in such a way that it is very accurately used only like Airbus A320 or A330. And this is another flight simulation mission. This mission is being used to train Boeing flight crew members. Okay, and this is also the full flight simulator training is being given through this Boeing, and there are other machines too, which are used to train these flight training devices. We are not going into that topic, but those machines are also the same machine will be used, but the training procedure will be different. Okay, now we will go into the topic called as what is simulated certification. Simulated certification is all about the process of assessing and verifying the quality, functionality, and compliance of a simulator with established standards and regulations and criteria for training purpose. So the mission we have, and the process of training the people also we know, and how the training procedure should be scheduled, this also we know, and giving the legal rights for the training center to assess and verify the training. There is some process called as there is some certification called as simulator certificate, and this is given by some national organizations or international organizations, we will see later. And these certifications are typically issued by regulatory authorities. Okay, That's what is given, and training will be given based on the given jurisdictions. Okay, and who gives the regulations, standards, and guidelines? Normally, it is given by two main authorities, which is first we can consider it as a Federal Aviation Administration, and the second is International Civil Aviation Organization. This International Civil Aviation Organization is just started by 6 or 7 years before. Before that, for around 12 years before itself, this Federal Aviation Administration is giving legal training for those people to train in simulators. Okay. Okay. What are we going to discuss today? Okay, that's the thing we need to know, right? So, what are we going to discuss today? We are going to discuss about something regarding flights, something regarding the cockpit. Okay, the flight which you can see here is it's an Airbus 320 based upon the wing shape and usage, and from the portrait itself you can understand this is Airbus 320. It is also given here, right? We don't want to think a lot. And the certification here is this is the certification which is provided to the training centers who train the flight crew members for the Airbus 320 200. This is the serious number, okay? And the thing is given here, right? You can see it, I think. This is called as FSTD. FSTD stands for Flight Simulation Training Device Qualification Certification. Okay, and each and every type of rules and regulations which are followed to train the particular flight, there will be some code numbers like FSTD number, EU, European Union stands for EU, A naught 269. Some number will be there, and the certificate is given where it is given for the some flight training academy for in which is located in Egypt. Okay, and as per the certification, the guidelines will be used, and the certificate need to be renewed every 2 or 3 years. Okay, and it depends upon the risk and the luxury of the aircraft. Okay, and here itself you can see that for the European Union Aviation Safety Agency. So the certificate is provided by EASA, European Aviation Safety Agency. The certificate is provided by EASA. So we have seen that who gave the rules for the program to be held. Who give the rules? They who give the rules is the rules are being scheduled by Flight Aviation Administration (FAA) and ICRDME. We have seen it in the previous slides. Okay, and this EASA is all about giving using those rules and getting the certificates. Okay, EASA, and this certificate has 2 pages. One is all about the certification to whom they are providing and the specification about the flight and the crew members and at which operating conditions should be used. Those are all given in the second page. Okay, this is an Indian flight. Okay, mostly we know that Air India it's given, right? From the diagrams, from the portrait or the image itself, we can see Air India, and this is an Boeing 737-800W flight. Okay, and this Boeing 737 flight, the training academy is Flight Simulation Technique Center Private Limited, which is located at Gurugram, India. So this is the certificate which is also provided by EASA. You can see it here, European Aviation Safety Agency. The certificate provided by EASA and the guidelines are followed from FAA or EA or ICRDME. Okay, and this is the certificate given in Australia. You can see here Kangaroo, and I think this is ostrich. Maybe if possible, you can see it. I think the certification is given by Civil Aviation Safety Regulations. Okay, this is the certificate given to A380 800 flight training device certificate. I have told there are 3 types of trainings given, right? And this is not full flight simulation training. This is all about flight training devices. And the second page have all the specifications and the method in which the training should be scheduled. This is also another certificate which is also following some rules, and this is given in where United Arab Emirates UAE. Okay, the certification is given here. Also, you can see that FSTD number and the flight which they are trying to get the certificate is of Bell 429. Okay, who gives the stimulation certification? Who gives that simulation certification? Overall, simulation certification can be given we can consider that simulation certification given in two types, national and international. Okay, the national type of simulation certification will be given by Indian organization. Okay, what is the Indian organization which gives us the certificate? Is Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA in short form we will say it. And who is the Union Minister of this DGCA? DGCA. Who is that? This is the guy. What's his name? Try to guess it. Think Satya Jyotitranath Skidya. The last word would be correct, I think, but this previous one I have some doubt. Okay. Overall, like international organization or international certification will be given by many number of boards. Some of them are the more respective or the more commonly used international civil certification boards are Civil Aviation Safety Authority, and which is for the overall world. Okay, and Federal Aviation Administration also gives the uh, overall certifications. Okay, not only they are giving the rules, but they will also provide certifications. And Civil Aviation Authority, they are also giving the certification for flight simulators, EASA, which we have seen in the certifications you have seen in the previous slides, I think. And okay, this is all about all civil transports are considered into national and international. And the national civil transportation, those certifications are licensed by DGCA. So all the crew members who are trying to get the simulator certification are the simulator certificate for the crew members. They will get the certificate from DGCA. And for the international purposes, they will get it from FAA, which is Federal Aviation Administration. CAA is of Civil Aviation Authority, and CASA is Civil Aviation Safety Authority, and EASA, European Aviation Safety Agency. Those people will get, and the certificate validation depends upon the usage and the priority. It will vary, but normally for national level it is around 2 years. The head office for this national DGCA is in New Delhi, India. Okay, and the head which I have shown in that picture is Jyoti Raditya Scindia. Okay, Jyoti Raditya Scindia. Maybe my pronunciation is different, but that's the thing I want to say. Okay, when to use this simulator certificate? The use of flight simulator is appropriate when? So, what's the purpose of using this flight simulators? In a correct and precise way, we can say that how? Okay, to understand it, let's go into some examples. Okay, what's this flight? It looks very gigantic, right? This is Emirates Airbus 380. Okay, 380 800. And this flight, you can see the cockpit, right? The cockpit is very small. And what is the main interesting data about this A380 is Emirates A380 is it weighs around 510 to 575 tons. My goodness, it's around my weight is around 100 kg. You take now, it's like having nearly 500 to 1000 Utramans inside to wear this flight. And this flight is of two blue whale size. Okay, two blue whale size. It's even a blue whale is around 50 to 180 meters, I think. So it's around the size of 160 to 200 meters. Okay, and it's all of top and it's all about five giraffes. My God, and it has 4 million parts. These parts, what they are considering, I don't know. Maybe the parts other than the wire and circuit systems. Okay, that much amount of things are there inside that aviation, that A380. And this there's some aircraft specification. This flight, which is used, is a luxury flight. Okay, And there are types of four classes are there: fourth class, third class, second class, and second class another long range. Okay, and normally the if it is the first class now, they will take around 480%, but if it is the third class or fourth class, the members will be around 600 to 700 members they will take. Okay, that's the amount of people they will take. And what's the range of the fees, or what's the ticket cost, you think? It's around 700, 600 to $700. Nearly in our Indian currency, it would be around 45 to 50,000. I think 45 to 50,000 rupees. I'm not particularly mentioning any this place to this place, like any region, but this Emirates flight is a luxury flight. So from this thing, from the photograph, we can see that we need a training task that requires a high degree of representation of the actual aircraft. See, nearly 600 members are training more comfortably in an aircraft, and they need to have some authority or trust to the crew members, right? Other than this authority or trust, they cannot have a good journey. So, having this authority and trust can only be possible by training those crew members in an actual aircraft representation system. Okay, we cannot have a trial and error with those 600 people's life. Okay, again and again, and to see all the possible ways the people will make, the crew members will make mistake, or all the possible ways this environment will have some problems. We cannot say it. So there is a training. The training task should represent the actual aircrafts without having problems, without any cost and damage to the environment. That's the main theme. So for having the simulator certificate, and this that's the thing I have, that's the first point. Okay, and the second point is all about, you can see here, right? What is this? It's a cockpit of the same aircraft A380 Emirates. Okay, there are a lot of leverages, some buttons, and some turnover indicators are there. Okay, after seeing this, you can see that you will get confused what to use and when to use these machines without having experience. So, in order to train for the whole operating conditions, okay, for all the total operations which are being taken in the aircraft, we need a special system, okay, special approach, trained approach to encounter the total operation of the aircraft. A program in which the total operation of the aircraft should be considered. Then and there will not be any problems when the aircraft crew members are trying to take the flight, when they are trying to use the flight to safely to safely transport all the crew members, all the passengers. Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. Okay. And this flight simulator training is not alone for passenger type of vehicles. It is also there for aviation, civil and military aviation training devices also, because the cost of a life is not just like that. It's a lot amount. So we need to safeguard the each and everyone's life. That's why they have those training devices, and the cost of building an jet or building a fighter plane is very very huge. So before giving a proper training, we cannot have those persons to be intelligent in using the flight. That's why there are the flight simulators which is required. That's the second point. And the third point is all about assessing. Okay, we need to rank those people in the rank 2, rank 3, or rank 4 to understand the quality, and how they consider the people. Okay, some people have some problems like mental issues. Some people will be very very strong, and they will take correct decisions in correct time. That assessment we need. And the second thing they mostly require is all about practice. And whenever there is a practice, there will be some development. So whenever there is a development, they can they can take critical critical decisions that will safeguard the whole crew members. Okay, for example, we know all about Sully movie. I think in that movie, that crew member will have some problems. Like that flight will have some problems, and the two or three engines which are inside on the sides of the aircraft will be uh, disengaged or malfunction. But at the time he want to land it on the correct place, like the landing region is around 5 to 6 kilometers up after the when he is flying there. Due to the bad streak, the engines are being malfunction, and he need to land that aircraft uh, at the correct position in the aircraft landing zone. But that landing zone is around 6 kilometers away from the position in which he is flying. So he suddenly thinks of landing that aircraft in water. A lot of problems have been seen, whether he done the right decision or not. All the things have been seen. The main thing I'm trying to say is, at critical situations we need the flight crew members need to take the correct decisions. Okay, for that purpose also we need good flight simulator training. That's the third thing. The training task involves the assessment and of operating proficiency as well as its developments. Okay, that these are the 3 points. And the fourth thing we are going to see is all about the role. The role which this flight simulator is being played. You can see there are totally 4 pictures here, right? What's the first picture saying is all about? We can see that they are manufacturing the flight, right? So this is all about manufacturer's role. The manufacturer, if I am going to make a flight of air, Muttu 300 or Muttu 400, if that flight is going to be launched, that before launching itself, I should give the particular data about how the flight specification will be, and I have to assign proper simulator mission creators or mission makers to have a proper training to be given to the flight crew members for after 6 months this flight is going to be flying in air. Now, those training missions will should be made before 3 to 4 months before it, and those crew members should be trained on that type of flight, and after that only this flight can be used for flying purposes. Okay, so the manufacturer need to give the specifications about how to use the flight simulator. Okay, that's the thing. That's the thing which is very important. And the second thing which is very important is the training academy. So the trainers role. Actually, the trainers academy will have some legal certifications to train a particular type of flight. So those people need to coordinate with the flight manufacturer, and they need to train the crew members. Okay, that's the second thing we need to see. And the third thing is all about legal. Legal, you can see here, right? Legal authority. Okay, legal authority or legal document, legal role. Okay, the flight crew members need to fly a flight, and the flight should have some rules and regulations should be followed, and those rules and regulations will be given by the legislator, and they need to have approved sanction from the DGCA. Okay, that's the thing we need to see. And the fourth thing we need to see is all about, you can see here, right? It's all about technological training technologists. Like each and every time the situation is the people are developing and the technology is increasing, right? So uh, the technologist trainer should use these four three things, these three: manufacturer, trainer, and the legislators, and make a research on how to use the flight more efficiently. And based upon the training technologist data, these three people, these three persons will uh, perform. These three persons will coordinate and give the best result to the crew members. That's the thing. Okay. How do stimulators train effectively? Okay. Yeah, they train effectively by how they train effectively. by using the manufacturers. They will give the device data and how the training should be uh, taken place. The second is all about the customers. Then the third is the registrators, and the fourth is all about training technologies and the simulator certification. Okay, which we have seen. These are all the points which we have seen here. It's all about the process of assessing and verifying the quality. It involves evaluating various aspects of simulator, such as its hardware, software. Everything will be effectively trained. Okay, that's the second point. And the third point is all about simulation certification is particularly important in industries such as aviation. The simulator certification is not only given in aviation industries, it is also given in all other highly cost missions. Those people need to have some training before using those machines, right? So they need some simulated training that are given. Okay, and the third thing is all about the specific requirements of the simulator certifications vary depending upon the industry and the intended use of the simulator. Okay, these requirements may include specifications, technical specifications. Sometimes they will include fidelity standards, motion system performances, visual system accuracy, and compliance with relevant regulation and guidelines. Compliance, in the sense, it is being coordinated with the current regulations and guidelines need to be followed. And the simulator certification is and aims to ensure accurately that the simulator accurately represents the real world conditions, all the real world condition in which the crew members will be suffocated or uh, will be working on. Those all the conditions will be given to the flight crew members or not will be checked by some organization, and after checking the simulator certification is given. That's the third thing. And for the last point is all about the manufacturer, customer, legislator, and the training technologies. The four people play a major role in measuring the effectiveness of a simulator. Okay, these are the references in which I have taken. And for understanding purpose, I have included this the thing, the DGCA eligibility, D7D D6 simulator airplane. In this thing, you can see a lot about how the DGCA gives the eligibility criteria for the simulator certifications. Okay, to the training academies, and the training academy will have some uh, three, two to uh, two to 3 months once checking, and whenever there is some renewal need to be made, they need to pay around an amount of around 1 lakh, I think. 1 lakh, yeah. So that's all we need to see. And if there is any doubt, you can ask me, or we need to say that. We'll ask if there is any doubt. Okay, that's all.